When you become a Christian, God gives you new instincts that will cause you and enable you to behave in ways you would have never behaved before. You know, I have only ever been in one fight in my entire life. It actually happened 10 years ago when my wife and I were walking to our car with some friends of ours after we had eaten dinner with them in downtown Oklahoma City. When we get to our car in the parking lot behind the restaurant, I walk over and I open the passenger side door for my wife, while my friend opens the rear passenger side door for his wife so she can get in the back seat. Well, after Ashley is seated in the car, I close her door. I walk around to the front of the car. I open the driver's side door to get in. I sit down in the car. I pull my keys out of my jacket pocket. And just as I'm getting ready to put my keys into the ignition, I hear this blood-curdling scream from behind me. I turn around just to see, what's going on, and all I see is our friend Krista. She is screaming and swinging her purse at this 6'2" dude dressed all in black. Well, I look closer, and the reason she is screaming is because this guy has snuck up behind her husband, has put him in a chokehold, and is dragging him behind the car. Now, like I said, I've never been in a fight before in my life. Man, I wasn't in boxing or karate or wrestling. Listen, I have zero combat skills. But at that moment, with my wife and the mother of my then 10-month-old baby sitting next to me and potentially in danger, something just kind of kicked in. I remember I whipped my head around and I'm sitting there looking out of the front window, and I kid you not, it is as if I hear God himself speaking to me. I hear this voice inside my head say, "Brian, it's your time. It's your time." So I fling open my door. I run to the back of the car, and by the time that I get there, this guy has drugged my friend into the parking lot, thrown him on the ground, and is standing over the top of him with his foot raised above his head, getting ready to crush his skull into the ground. Well, just before he brings his foot down to potentially end my friend's life, I lunge at him, throw my elbow in his chest, spin him around, and I punch him in the face as hard as I possibly could. Dropped him. One punch. Okay, I broke my hand, but I knocked him out cold. One punch, it was amazing. Now listen, I didn't wake up that morning and say, I'm going to get in a fight today. I hadn't prepared for it. I wasn't ready. But in that moment, when I had no choice but to act, these instincts of a husband, they just kind of kicked in. And they caused me to behave in a way that honestly, I didn't even know that I could. They caused me to behave in a way I never would have behaved before. Because the same thing is true in our Christian lives. As a believer, God gives us new instincts that will kick in when we need them if we're simply willing to act. And those instincts that he's given us, they don't make us timid. Paul reminds Timothy, you may feel timid, but that's not who you are. That's not who God has made you, because God does not create cowards. As a follower of Christ, God gives us new instincts. He enables us to behave in ways we'd have never have behaved before.